Nicolas Cinalli, South American scout, formerly of Manchester United Academy and First Team. Thank you very much for joining me.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you because you are the man who very first flagged Cristian Orozco to United. Is that correct?
Well, yes, it's like I explained you. It was in the South American under 17. Played in Colombia in the venue of Monteria. They have two venues. One it was Cartagena, and the second one, the main venue was Cartagena, and the secondary venue was Monteria. And I get by luck, Monteria in the first 3 games, and then we switch. And in that venue, it was playing Colombia under 17, which was a great team. So I have the chance to watch him live 3 times. And yes, of course, I flagged to my lead scout. And then, like I explained you, this is not about a single, decision. It was a fantastic team job because this is the way Man United works. So I flagged to the lead scout. The lead scout watched the player. He was agreed. Then he flagged to the front office, and the front office start to work very quick and very hard. And they take the decision based on all the opinions.
So obviously, you say that you saw him in action 3 times. What stood out about him? What caught your attention?
Well, like I tell you, based on my experience of working many years in the academy of Man United and getting a lot of information of the Man United DNA players and comparing Caicedo at the same age, it was like an impression, of my experience that he could be and develop in a player with a similar archetype of him. Of course, like I told you, the player has the physical, has the technique, have the decision, have the location, of course, but he needs to have the correct path, especially in the mental approach in the Man United Academy to arrive to that level. Of course, nobody has the certainty that he's gonna become one of the best defensive midfielder in the world, but of course he shows the signals of the top world-class player.
How difficult is it from your experience for young 17-year-old sort of South American lads coming over to England? Because it's not a straight switch, is it?
No, of course not. I used to be a former player, and I remember when I was 17, I played a young tournament in United States called the Dallas Cup with my team, Central Córdoba. Somebody scouted me from Sheffield Wednesday, and I went on test for 2 weeks to train with them. It was back in the late 90s. For me, coming from South America in another different world than this, with no connection, no WhatsApp, no cell phone, it was very difficult because are very different customer, very difficult weather, very different weather, very different way of life and communication. So of course, it's very hard for players from South America to adapt to England, Scotland, Netherlands, wherever. I used to play in the Netherlands too, and with 28 years old, and it was not easy for me, even speaking English. So I think this is the most challenging part for the player, to try to adapt very quickly. And of course, the club is fantastic, so they're gonna help him. And he only needs to broke that part that needs time and a few years to rise his highest level. So you can compare it if you, like I told you before, look at Di Maria now playing for Rosario Central in the league, which was a world-class player. He came back and took like 10 games to adapt his style of game to our league. Not because it's better or worse, it's because it's different. So when you play in a different context, in a different way of life, everything changes.
I think that's the key, isn't it? It's patience, because you've mentioned Caicedo there, who is, you know, one of the absolute best central defensive midfielders in the game, in the Premier League. United, given that United have needed that number 6, that midfield presence, the energy, fans are going to be very keen to see him, to see Arosco, to see what he can do. He's not the answer yet, is he? Everyone needs to be patient, yeah?
Yes, of course. It's a 17 old years player that he used to play in a small academy before signing Fortaleza. So, of course, you need to have the patience and you need to give the time. And of course, this is professional football and he needs to adapt very quickly to this situation because it's the rules of the game. But I think United is going to make a great job, like always do with the young players. So I'm really happy that they signed it. I think it was a great signing and a great discovering for all the team, all the lads, the Team America and the front office. So I think it was very, very, very important.
Brilliant. And Nico, finally, it's a dangerous question, but if everybody's patient, if he continues developing in the way that you think he might, what could he potentially bring to the first team in a few years?
Like you say, I think he can develop in a really energy ball winner, defensive midfielder ball winner, with more than efficient tools to distribute the ball. So it's a kind of profile like Caicedo. So he has the pace and has the agility to rise to the wide areas and to ball winning duels. So that's you can expect if the player rises his standard. But of course, he's gonna need the time and the patience to adapt his game to the pace of the league. And then also, like I told you before, a little bit of luck, because you don't control anything in your life. A little bit of luck to don't get injuries, to adapt himself very quickly, and his mind, his set mind, start to live like an English player. So, but you never know. The brain of the people is personal. You don't know even the brain of your wife. So it's he has the profile, he has the tools, he has the physique, he has the mentality. The club make a fantastic decision to sign it, and then he needs time, patience, and a little bit of luck.